Can you all hear me okay? Is that better? Okay, awesome. All right, Ms. Macro, we're going to call to order the April 22nd, 2025 action meeting. If you'd all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Ms. Macro, roll call.
Dr. Anderson.
Here.
Ms. Arendt. Here. Mr. Caligiuri.
Here.
Ms. Chedowitz.
Here.
Mrs. Purcell.
Here.
Dr. Richardson.
Here.
Mr. Sokolsky.
Here.
Mrs. Stepnick.
Here.
Mr. Strapke.
Here.
And Student Representative Mr. Drew Becker.
Here.
Thank you. The board met in executive session on April 22nd, 2025 to discuss matters, of litigation, safety, personnel, and real estate. Recommend approval of the following minutes as listed below.
Motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, we're going to move forward with recognitions. Before I hand it over to Ms. Macro, I just want to thank you all for coming here this evening. As a courtesy to each of the students being recognized, and we got a lot of you here tonight, we ask that all audience members remain in the meeting during the recognitions. We want each student to have a special moment of recognition, free from the distraction of others socializing or making their way to the exit. Once the recognition portion of the meeting has concluded, I promise we will pause for families to exit if you would like to do so. We would love for you to stay, but you don't have to. You can leave after that, and we'll wait to start the meeting. For the seniors being recognized this evening, we would like for you to share about your future academic, extracurricular, or professional plans following graduation. Coaches, don't let them slip away when they are up here. And lastly, after each group's recognition, if you will please make your way back to the Plum Mustangs banner in the back of the room, we would like to quickly take a picture. Ms. Macro, all yours.
Yes, this evening we're recognizing two sports, so we're going to ask Athletic Director Mr. Drew Carpin to step forward, and he'll introduce the coaches for us.
Good evening, and thank you for this recognition. We would like to honor and recognize the boys and girls swim team as well as the boys and girls bowling team tonight, and obviously we thought it was important to recognize the whole team for both, as all of them did win championships this year. So first, for swimming, I'd like to invite up coaches Shane Ging and Cassie Smith.
Thank you, Mr. Corbin. I'm the head swim coach for Plum. My name is Shane Ging, and today we're going to recognize some of our boys and girls. For our boys swimming, we had a record this year of 10-2, and we had 8 WIPIO qualifiers for individuals. For our seniors and our WIPIO qualifiers here with us today, we have Braden Frick, Jamin Hancock, Holton Richard, and Maddox Shulo. You guys can come up. Our two seniors are Maddox Shulo and Jamin Hancock.
Hi, I'm Maddox. I will be, this fall, 2025, I'll be attending the University of Pittsburgh to study nursing.
Hello everyone, I'm Jamin, and I'll also be attending the University of Pittsburgh for physical therapy.
Thank you, boys. Congratulations.
I'm also taking photos. Just wait a second. It's not
We're going to do a quick photo op with the boys if the parents or family members wanted to take a photo of them as well.
Yeah.
All right, and for our girls team, this year we had a perfect 12-0 record. We finished the year out as section champs, and that was the first time since 1992. And with us here today, we have Michelina Corrado, Gianna Crivilla, Charlotte Faust, Elle Irwin, Dominique Massey, Olivia Miller, Marina Rabovich, Kaylee Smith, Taryn Smith, Ava Templin, Emma Verkliern, Emily Westover, and Hannah Woljan. And our two seniors are Michelina Corrado and Kaylee Smith.
Hi, my name is Michelina Corrado, and I will be attending St. Vincent's College in the fall to study in the medical field.
Hi, I'm Kaylee. I will be attending Edinburgh in the fall to study elementary education and continue swimming.
Good. All right, we would like to go ahead and recognize our next team. And to do that, I would like to call head coach Daryl Pillett.
Good evening, everyone. First thing I would like to do is thank the board for recognizing the bowlers for their accomplishments this season. First, I'd like to bring up the boys team. The boys team won the Bearcat tournament back in January, put on by St. Vincent. They finished second in their section and qualified for the WPIBL championships. Members of the boys team, Cade Shimmer, Brian Kroll, Grayson Bias-Rasco, Grayson Kuntz, Vince Rossetti couldn't make it tonight, Tim Ellefson, Daniel Van Syak couldn't make it, Devin Thomas, Aiden Schultz, Noah Yeoman, and James Yusko couldn't make it.
Did you say Brian? Did you say Brian?
Yeah.
He didn't.
Leave Alex alone and get a hug.
I saw them looking and I was like,
Okay, the boys team finished second and qualified to bowl in the championships for the WPIBL, and they won the championship. Cade was the all WPIBL second team. The regionals, the boys team placed second and qualified for the state tournament. And in the states, the boys finished 11th. We have, okay, I only have one senior boy here this evening, Cade Shimmer.
Hi, I'm Cade Shimmer. I'll be continuing my bowling career at RMU and I'll be studying accounting.
And I'd like to bring the girls up. They also won the Bearcat tournament this season. The girls team went undefeated for the third year in a row. They have not lost a game in 3 years. The members of the girls team are Addison Venn, Callie Shimmer, Alexandria Fulmer, Brooklyn Venn, Aubrey Shalatz, Madison Painter, Morgan Caddy, and Captain Bobby Mealy. Addison for the season was all WPIBL second team along with Callie Shimmer. WPIL team championships, Addison finished fourth. In the singles championship, Addison and Callie qualified for the quarterfinals. In the singles championship, Alex had the high game. That was after an ugly game. In the singles championship, Addison had the second high game and Callie had the third high game, so they swept the top 3 awards in the singles championships. In the regionals, the girls also won the regional title for the 3rd consecutive year. In singles competition and regionals, Addison and Brooklyn then both qualified for states. In the girls team competition, Callie Shimmer was on the all-tournament team. In states, the girls finished second this year. Last year they were third. This year they moved up 1 to second. They beat the defending champion, Governor Mifflin, in the semifinals and then lost to Hempfield in the finals. All-tournament team was Callie Shimmer and Alex Fulmer. I have 2 other quick things. Graduate of Plum, graduated in the COVID year in 2020, had a very good chance to make it to states and win states, but states was canceled the day that we were leaving for states. She went to Duquesne. She's a 5th-year senior at Duquesne. She was an All-American on 3 different polls that are put out by the NCAA. There's 3 different polls. She was an All-American, all 3 of them, and she was a finalist for Bowler of the Year in the NCAA, Shannon Small. She's going to be inducted into the WPIBL Hall of Fame on May the 17th at the WPIBL banquet. Also, we had a girl that graduated last year. This is the one I'm proud of the most. My granddaughter, Mara, was Rookie of the Year in the NCAA and also the IBC TPA. She had made it Rookie of the Year, and we're both national organizations. Thank you very much for your time. Oh, I'm sorry, I got 2 seniors. Maddie?
You're not getting away.
Hi, I am attending CCAC after graduating from Plum. I want to get an associate's in nursing and eventually have the end goal of being a nurse anesthetist.
And Bobby Mealy.
Hi, I will be attending St. Vincent College, their honors community for chemistry and secondary education.
That's the end of our recognitions, so if there's...
No, that's good.
Oh.
Don't mind if- I thought we were going to
Yeah,
take a break.
we're going to take a quick break after they're done with the pictures. You guys are free to go if you want to. You don't have to wait for them to be done with their pictures, but we'll give you a few minutes to head out if you'd like to.
My son's down at one field, and my husband just walked in, so that I have a picture of it. Okay, hold on a second. Let me see if I can pull
Whenever you go there that way, no one's safe. Just check.
Okay. Well, I didn't respond in 10 days. I might be in jail.
I'm going to say, somebody takes down your What's that?
I'll put it on front and then I'll call it. Okay. No, they decided to go to lacrosse. The whole flag team went to watch the lacrosse game. So that's kind of cool. Good. Hey, you know what? Boys tennis, like, they're like coming into their own. They're like, I mean, they had a challenging year last year trying to regroup and get going, and they're coming into their own.
Better this Tuesday than next. I got another regular state.
Keep your head high.
No.
And Terry said he was here for entertainment. I'm like, this is your Tuesday night entertainment? Like, I'll be watching the lacrosse game. That was funny.
Ms. Macro, if we want to do citizens' comments?
If there's anybody in the audience that would like to make a comment at this time, we ask you to step to the podium one at a time, state your name, your residency within Plum, and we will provide you 3 minutes to speak to the board. This is a reminder, it's a time to share your comments, suggestions, or concerns with the board rather than a question and answer session with the board. When you're finished, we ask that you please write your name on the clipboard at the end of the table so I spell it correctly in the minutes. I will put a timer up with 3 minutes and let you know when you have a 30-second warning for end of your time.
Sorry. Can't see any of you, but I can read this. With the glasses on, I can see you, can't see that.
We all have that problem, Tom. It's okay.
Yes,
Most of
it
us.
sucks getting old. So, I'm Tom, live in Oak Street in Renton. Sorry, forgot that. First, want to congratulate Beverly. Job well done. Second, hope everybody had a good Easter, good Passover, whichever holiday you follow. Right into it. Last week, we had a presentation from the architects and the engineers and all that stuff. They pointed out that they came in under budget on 2 of the projects. I know there were 4 projects, 2 of them they don't really have the numbers on, so I'm not even talking about those. First 2 they came in, they said they had found basically $640,000 under budget. I had a couple questions about that. Did they actually come in under budget, or did they just take stuff off the list? Because there was a list of all these things that everybody wanted to have done, and it seemed like from comments that were made that night that, yeah, they're a little bit short, saving some money, but they're not doing everything that we asked for. That just concerned me. That being said, if they did come in under budget, is the 640 grand factored into the tax increase that you're voting on tonight? If it's not, can't we just use it for other stuff like the track or any number of other things? I'm pretty sure you guys can think of a couple things to spend it on. Basically, I don't want to just, we saved all this money, not get everything we asked for. We save it, spend it. You know, fix the track, fix whatever needs fixed. Sorry. One thing I did notice on the drawings, you guys talked about it a little bit, the treadmills in the library. I think that's fantastic, give kids something to break the monotony. Is the library the best place to put them? Mainly because aren't libraries supposed to be a quiet place for study, and having a bunch of kids on treadmills and stationary bikes just sounds like noise. Not really sure where else to put them in the school. I just think it'd be a better location. You know, it's got to be a better location than next to somebody that's trying to study. That's actually pretty much it. I didn't have anything. I could talk for 30 more seconds. But that's just pretty much it. I just wanted to make sure you guys are, you know, if you're saving us money, great. But if there's things that we still want to get done, spend the money there. Get the track fixed. Get whatever we can fixed. Let's, you know, you guys are asking for a tax increase for 30 million or however many million it is. And if you get it, fix the schools. Fix everything we can on those lists. Don't just take stuff off of them. Thank you.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you. Anybody else at this time? Okay, Dr. Anderson, back to you.
Thank you. We'll move on to the President's report. First and foremost, we want to take a moment and welcome Ms. Beverly Purcell to the board. On April 16th, the board held a special voting meeting and chose to appoint Mrs. Purcell to fill Devin Adams' vacant seat. Mrs. Purcell comes to us with over 30 years' experience in the field of education, specifically special education. Mrs. Purcell will be working with Mrs. Richardson to co-chair the building projects and planning committee, and also to take over Mr. Adams' role as the operations chair. This evening we'll help you with that part because you kind of, swore in at 10 a.m. today, so we'll get those through for you this evening, and then you can take over those for next month. Secondly, the board has several key items that we will be moving forward this evening. First, we'll be agreeing to an MOU with Gateway School District to share the established JROTC program with students in the Gateway School District. Secondly, we'll be voting to accept the social studies and world language curriculum resources. This will complete our cycle of curriculum reviews, ensuring that every academic area has been reviewed, received updated resources and training, and empowered teachers and students alike for success in the classroom. In the same vein, we will approve a programmatic review of our math curriculum instruction and assessment practices. This allows the mathematics team to take a deep dive into the resources and practices K through 12, utilizing analytics and data. Thirdly, we'll be recommending the approval to accept and resolve the 25-26 proposed budget. This will include a small incremental tax increase that will be more sustainable for our taxpayers. A thank you to the administration and staff for working hard to trim the fat in their departments to ensure we are fiscally responsible across all departments. Operationally, we have several items: the refinishing of the gymnasium floors across all buildings, the approval of milk and bread purchase contracts, and the commitment to maintain our current pricing for breakfast and lunch. For our extended school year summer programming, we will authorize the hiring of supplemental staff to support enrolled students. We continue to update and revise policies based on the recommendations from the PA School Board Association and our solicitor. And we will approve 2 items related to the work we do with the Allegheny Intermediate Unit. One is a fund agreement and the other a notice of adoption. And finally, tonight the board will vote on 3 project and planning items. 2 of these items are related to the Plum Middle School. One is a mechanical bid, the other a modifications bid. The third item is the authorization for HDG Architects to begin the construction document phase services for O-Block Elementary. Each of these items allow the renovation and construction work to continue without delay. I know Dr. Walsh will provide more detail regarding these projects, but I do think it's important to note that we are continuing to step through the process to move the projects forward. Costs are not finalized, but we cannot get to finalized costs without continuing to step through. We as a board are grateful for the work that the administration continues to do week over week to take recommendations and concerns presented by the board back to the operational level as they work with the architects and contractors to ensure that the project meets the needs of our students and protects the value of our assets here in Plum Borough. That's all I have for this evening. Your superintendent's report, Dr. Walsh.
Thank you, Dr. Anderson. I'd like to just give a brief update in 3 areas. One will be the curriculum, second will be the building projects, and third will be the recommendation of the budget moving forward. First of all, a curriculum update. I'd like to thank Dr. Boyers and Dr. Thomas for the work that they have done in moving this initiative forward. Our district maintains an unwavering commitment to continually evaluate and enhance the educational experience provided to our students. Over the past year, our vertical core team has been deeply engaged in a collaborative process to review our existing social studies and world language curriculum. This comprehensive review has involved exploring potential alternative resources focused on key criteria such as student engagement, curriculum alignment, and differentiation. As the academic year draws to a close, our dedicated faculty is already diligently working to prepare these resources that will benefit our students in the upcoming 25-26 school year. In regards to the building projects, our approach to the O Block and middle school project represents the best course of action to control costs and ensure that the district stays within its spending limits on this project. We have just completed the design development phase, and now we have a clear understanding of the scope of the O Block project along with the estimated costs associated with that scope. Moving forward into the next design phase, which is the construction documents, it will allow us to further define the project by examining the details of the scope closely and accessing each item to identify potential reductions or where certain scopes may be considered optional. Based on the feedback from the board on April 16th, there are 2 ways in which we can do this. One is the scope revision. Now that the costs have been obtained for materials and systems, we will continue to investigate certain items for more cost-effective options to achieve the same outcome. For instance, looking at wall tile, flooring, ceiling systems. The next is alternatives. We will provide a list of alternatives that can be chosen for acceptance once bids are received. These alternatives will provide options to reduce the scope if the bid amounts need to be lowered to stay within the budget. Examples of this may be the bus canopies, operational partitions, looking at existing infrastructure units, or the scope of the asphalt project. Finally, I'd like to end with a note about our budget proposal. I'd like to thank Mr. Manzer and his department for literally the hundreds of hours that they have put into working with all the departments throughout our system in order to put together a thoughtful budget. The proposed budget for the upcoming fiscal year is designed to ensure a balanced fiscal plan while upholding our commitment to educational excellence. This budget prioritizes maintaining all current academic and extracurricular programs, ensuring that every student has access to the resources and opportunities they need to succeed. In addition, we are committed to fiscal responsibility through careful expenditure monitoring, seeking cost-saving measures, and exploring alternative revenue sources. By balancing these priorities, we aim to provide a stable and enriching educational environment to all students, while also being held accountable to the community for the effective use of every tax dollar. Thank you, Dr. Anderson.
Yep. Mr. Thakari, our student representative's report.
Yeah. So while it may seem like the school year is quickly coming to a close, it's actually the busiest time of the year now. On May 9th, yeah, I know it's hilarious, but 30 days of school and we're busy as we've ever been. But on May 9th, juniors and seniors of the high school can look forward to a grand night at the prom dance, With great planning from Mr. McFeely and Miss Findlay, students are excited to have yet another great dance where they will be celebrating with friends, dates, or groups. Tickets have already been sold, and students will be required to make their choices of dinner by this Friday. Also this Friday, students in the music departments will be leaving and performing at the state capitol under the group of music students. They will then go to Hershey, where they will be doing lots of educational learning, and also the Flight 93 Memorial, where they will actually learn a lot about the history of our country. Students are also rapidly preparing for the upcoming final exams and AP tests, where they will be wrapping up the year and showing what they have learned. Some students will be taking PSSAs, Keystones, or other examinations, and will be finishing out their year with a bang. Also on the note of students leaving, tomorrow 26 students from TSA will be going to Seven Springs, where they will be showing off everything that they've made for the last 8 months of school and hopefully winning another state competition. Seniors this year get the chance to write a bio, including their favorite songs, memories, and other personal facts about them as a final homage to what I can say is confidently the best group of students Plum has ever seen. I may be a little biased, but some students will also be recognized on May 9th at the Academic Awards Ceremony for GPA or other scholarship offers or just any achievements. Also on the note of awards ceremonies, recently students got inducted into the Class of 2026 National Honor Society. Students Ava Miller, Naomi Casey, Charlotte Faust, and Matthew Nelson were inducted as officers. On April 30th, students will be inducted into the Computer Science Honor Society and will be looking forward to another great year of continuing under Miss McPherson. Graduation will soon be upon us for seniors, and their families will be heartbroken to see them go and join new paths in life and hopefully do great things. If any of you guys went to the musical earlier this month, you know that it was a huge success, and many people are saying it's one of the best musicals Plum has ever put on. With great spotlights and an even better cast, it was truly an experience that was once in a lifetime, and I was very appreciative to have the chance to go. And finally, just to pat the board on the back, students were very excited to see the tennis courts being torn down and now being put back up. While it may have interfered with a few parking spots near the baseball fields, mine included, that price is little to pay in comparison to the happiness and joy that these new courts will bring. A lot of my friends and I are actually planning to start playing on these courts, hopefully without any bad bounces from tennis balls, but thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. All right, first up, academic achievement and activities. Myself, lead board liaison, recommend approval to accept and resolve the following 1 to 5 as listed on behalf of the board. I'll make that recommendation. Do we have a second? Thank you, Dr. Richardson. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Ms. Macro, I'm going to abstain to A2 due to professional relationships with McGraw-Hill. So any contract related to McGraw-Hill. Okay. I don't have a further report for this evening. Next up, community engagement, inclusion, and outreach. Dr. Richardson, lead board liaison, do you have a report for this evening?
Yes. So last week we had our second comprehensive planning steering committee meeting here at the school. Just a reminder, this is a group made up of 29 individuals who represent the full spectrum of our school community: students, teachers, support staff, administrators, parents, community members, and business partners. So we continue to build on the foundation started in the March meeting. We gave feedback on our mission, vision, and goals. So next step, on May 13th, there will be a board briefing, and draft priorities will be finalized on the 27th, hopefully with board approval. There will be public review of this for 28 days before submission in July. And then August through September, we hope to implement and kick this off. This past Saturday, April 19th, was Plum Cleanup Day, where many community members and organizations from across the borough were assigned a road to clean and beautify our community. There were a number of student groups present, which was nice to see them out and giving back. So please don't litter. There's so many tires that we find like every year out there. And April is recognized as the month of the military child, a time to honor and celebrate the resilience, strength, and sacrifices of military-connected students and their families. So tomorrow, April 23rd, is Purple Up Day. This is not designated by Plum, even though we love the color, but by the Military Interstate Children's Compact Compact Commission. Purple Up Day is a special day where communities across the country show their support by wearing purple as a symbol of appreciation for military families. So please wear your purple tomorrow to show your gratitude and recognition for the families in our district. A communication did go out a couple of times. I think one went out today as well, to families to remind them of this day. So if you have kiddos out there, please encourage them to wear purple tomorrow too, and let them know why. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Richardson. Next up, Finance, Mr. Stropke, Lead Board Liaison. Recommend approval to accept and resolve the following 1 to 4 as listed.
On behalf of the board, I'll make the recommendation.
All those, oh, do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Ms. Macro, I need to abstain to a 1 for a family member's paycheck. And Mr. Mr. Dice, I can say that so I don't have to keep saying it month over month. We're just going to, in the file, write it in perpetuity so that it continues as well, as long as they're employed.
Yep, and just so long as we have a written document, you don't have to say it every month. Yep.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Okay, do you have a report for this evening?
Real brief.
Yep.
First, I'd like to congratulate all the students who were recognized this evening. Tonight, we move forward the proposed 2025-26 budget. I would like to thank Mr. Manager and his staff, all our directors, additional staff, personnel, Dr. Walsh, Dr. Boyers, and Dr. Thomas. There were many hours devoted to bringing forward a fiscally responsible budget. When the budget process began back in December, it appeared that we were going to be faced with an increase in excess of 5%. Through the hard work of the prior mentioned individuals, we were able to reduce the amount to less than half of that without making any significant changes, or any changes, as a matter of fact, to our education programs. As a board, we recognize the burden that our taxpayers have, since our district, like many other districts in Pennsylvania, are underfunded by the state and federal governments. With many changes taking place at the federal level, and the state will not have their budget passed till later this year, a conservative approach was taken with regards to funding. I also want our taxpayers to know that this board and administration would like nothing better than not to have to raise taxes. Through our decision-making, though, we are making positive impacts not only for today, but for future boards and administrations in the years to come.
Thank you, Mr. Stropke. Next up, Fords Road CTC, Ms. Chudderwitz, Lead Board Liaison. Do you have a report for this evening?
I do, actually. I'm sorry, my voice is a little scratchy. I just wanted to give everybody a reminder, since we're talking about construction, that at the last Forbes Road meeting, Piper Sandler gave an initial presentation on financial steps and considerations when planning a construction project. You know, we're all familiar with that, but they did outline some steps on what we would be responsible for as far as our obligation to the home district. And they would phase that out into a 20-year plan, which would hypothetically start next June of 2026, and would continue to June of 46. And next steps they would take, they would send the school approvals. As I mentioned previously, in order to pass something like this, it needs to be unanimous by all 9 homeschool districts. And so I will keep, we do have a meeting on Thursday, so I will keep everybody updated on next steps. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for pushing through on that. Next up, Intergovernmental, Mr. Stropke and Ms. Arendt, co-lead board liaisons. Do either of you have a report for this evening?
No report.
Okay, thank you. Next, Legislative, Mrs. Stepnick, lead board liaison. Do you have a report?
First, I'd like to congratulate all the students on that musical. It was phenomenal. So that was exciting. And I always appreciate your reports, but I'm not looking forward to school ending this year because when Miguel goes home next month, I might just dial in when we're done. All that said, May 13th is Legislative Day on the Hill. I usually leave around 5 in the morning, get there, do my meetings, and hopefully participate in some other roundtable discussions. I usually have a breakfast ahead of time where we get to meet with other members and do some sort of dialogues. and collaborate with other districts. So if you have questions, I have compiled a list of various things that we've talked about as a board, and we've highlighted it as issues and concerns, the biggest being the cyber charter reform. And maybe you're catching on over here with my throat, I don't know. But the cyber charter reform being one of the biggest, and capping that at $8,000 for basic education would be a massive bump in revenue for us at this district. So, you know, it's going there and getting feedback and talking to our members, but as well as talking to other members and letting them know there's decisions that they're making and what they do to our students. So it's not just them legislating in a box. So if you have questions, please be sure to send them to me, and we can go from there. I'm going to try Saturday. I got invited to a roundtable with Congresswoman Lee. So I'm going to try to get there. I'm not sure with sports if I can, but if I just got it this afternoon. If I can, I'll have some feedback with that too.
Thank you, Ms. Stepnick. Next up, operations. There is, well, Ms. Purcell, we'll walk you through it. How's that? So as lead board liaison, I'm going to read letter A, and then you just say on behalf of the board, I make that recommendation. So letter A, recommend approval to accept and resolve the following 1 to 4 as listed.
On behalf of the board, I recommend that.
That's perfect. Sorry. That's perfect. Do we have a second? Ms. Chudowitz seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay. And I think we've talked operations pretty well tonight and projects and planning. Thank you, Ms. Purcell. Personnel, Mr. Caligiuri, lead board liaison. I'm sorry, letter A, recommend approval to accept and resolve the following 1 to 6 as listed.
Yeah, on behalf of the board, I'll make that recommendation.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? It's quite the scroll to get through the personnel. Where's the next thing?
Busy month for Dr. Thomas.
Yeah. Do you have a report for this evening?
Not really a report, but I just wanted to say that I've had an opportunity to be on campus quite a bit for my daughter's activities, and I mean, the kids are amazing, but the faculty and staff members here were really impressive when it came, and I mean, the teachers, obviously, or the band, or music directors, or, you know, the organizers of NHS, but I saw a custodian shaking hands. I saw our security teams talking to parents and kids. And so I just thought it was really impressive to see, and it made me proud. And I think that's something that Plum has gotten better at over at least my 5+ years here. And so I just wanted to recognize them because it was really a team effort, and I was really proud.
Wonderful, thank you for that. Next up, policy, Ms. Ahrens, lead board liaison. Recommend approval to adopt and revise the policies 1 to 11 as listed below.
On behalf of the board, I'll make that recommendation.
Do you have a second? Dr. Richardson. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Do you have a report for this evening? No. No report. Okay. Next up, projects and planning. Dr. Richardson, lead board liaison. Letter A, recommend approval to accept and resolve the following 1 to 2 as listed.
On behalf of the board, I'll make that recommendation.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
I'm sorry, I'd like some discussion if we
Yep.
can.
Yep, absolutely.
I think it's critical that the direction is 1000% set that the fat comes out of this project. We have needs. We had a citizen come before us last week and say they absolutely know what the fat is. We wouldn't have gotten this little paper from Eccles if they didn't already know. And he did make a comment that the add-ons are built in here, but they kind of know what they are that we don't need to have to still accomplish the goal. I am reluctant to vote for this tonight, for the O-Block, because of the O-Block project, because I've seen too many times in this district. Money goes, we're going to not do this, we're going to scale back here, a new election comes in, somebody else wants something different, and the projects go by the wayside. I want to make sure we're doing something, that this is the trajectory, this is the direction, and I don't really care if you get reelected or somebody else gets elected in your place. This is the trajectory, and I don't mean to sound harsh about that, but I don't care. This is what we're doing, so the fluff needs to come out. We're just voted to raise taxes, and I'm asking that before we vote to finally raise taxes at the end of May, that we have some sort of numbers of what that fluff is. It can't be that hard, because again, we have 4 pages here of different projections that are pretty on point, not a little bit off either one, but they're pretty similar. And I think we need to see what that number is. We owe it to the taxpayers to be fiscally responsible. Would I love the faux wood ceilings and all the fluff and all the stuff and the exercise equipment? Yeah, 100%. Is it necessary to educate kids? No. Could it be great for the future? Maybe. And again, we have projects, and I know nobody wants me to talk about the field, so I won't. But we have additional projects that need addressed and additional concerns in other buildings. And again, I heard a lot from a lot of people about how are you spending all this money and that beautiful design at Center, O Block, depending on the conversation, depending on the person. And again, I'm doing this today, but if I don't see fat cut out before the tax increase, I'm out with all of it, because I'm dead serious. They know what the numbers are, and they owe it to the board to give us that information within the next 30 days. It's not hard. Again, we have 4 pages there.
Do you want to? Yeah, absolutely.
I agree with you, Ms. Stepnick, and in regards to being fiscally responsible. You know, moving forward into the construction documents, this board is going to have ultimate decision-making. The reason we took this approach, as opposed to issuing a $30 million bond and coming up with a project 2 years ago, is because look at what's happening right now with our economy. It is a different environment now, and this board needs flexibility moving forward. Some of the alternatives that you're talking about, we do have them. We are working on them. It is the responsibility of this administration to bring recommendations to the board. I was not comfortable in putting information out there, let's say a menu, without meeting with the Director of Pupil Services, our Director of Facilities, our Director of Technology, meeting with faculty and staff in order to put together a thoughtful recommendation. That's why some of those numbers, and you can point right to me, is because I didn't feel like we were prepared to push that out. We are currently working on that. This is like a teeter-totter, the best way I can describe this. You know, we came to this board a couple months ago, and we heard too much aesthetics in the front of the buildings. We go back to the drawing board. We work in our groups. We have weekly meetings with the architects, the engineers. We come back, we get more feedback from the board, and we're already moving in that direction. Our goal, and I'm going to say my goal, is to make sure that O Block and the middle school projects are both moving forward. The one item that has been left out, and when you hear us talking about the $30 million, I'm talking about the money that we're borrowing. The one thing that I think gets left out is the alternative revenue. It is my understanding that in May, just like last year, the state's going to start pushing out facilities and grants. Last year we received almost $2 million. We're going to be very aggressive like we were last year, and if we can bring in another $2 or $3 million and we match that, there's the $10 million for the middle school. So there are opportunities. This board has the opportunity to, one, review the scope revisions and the alternatives, which will be cost savings. Two, the district is in a better position now than you were 10 years ago, where you didn't have a fund balance and the state was looking to get involved with running the school district. We now have a capital improvements account that we can address some of the needs at the middle school, i.e. the track. I do believe the track and the gymnasium, these are community places. You know, a lot of communities have a town center. I would submit that the town center and the Plum Borough School District are our schools. And I do believe those items are important. Now, are we convinced that we need all of that work in the front of the middle school? I would say no, based on the feedback we've heard from the board. But we will keep moving forward. I believe our approach in talking to our internal team, our external team, our finance team, gives this board the utmost flexibility and the opportunity to be completely fiscally responsible in moving forward. The unknown right now is how much alternative revenue can we bring in? You know, last year we were able to apply for $5 million and we received 1.9. We will be applying for the limit again this year, and we already have a list drafted out of what needs done at the middle school or here at the high school. So the big picture is we're working on plans to address our roofs in all of our buildings and the facilities in all of our buildings. As you have heard me say, we are replacing items. The pump for the pool was 42 years old, and the life expectancy was 25 years. The domestic water heating at the middle school failed. Glucol was not added to the pipes at HP, and we're surprised when they burst. That should have been added during the construction phase last time. Our goal is to dot I's and cross T's and go about these projects in a fiscally responsible way, but in a way that will stand the test of time also. That we're not taking shortcuts, having to go back and address and fix in the short term. We're looking for long-term solutions. So I know it's a lengthy answer, but I think we're all on the same page here in regards to moving forward and making sure our facilities are appropriate for our students and our community and our faculty.
Any other comments before we vote? I believe we had a second, correct? We did. Okay. So all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay. Do you have a report for this evening, Dr. Richardson?
Yeah, just very shortly. We do have the page on our website is up and running, so it outlines the construction projects and can be found under the information menu under Plum Borough School District Construction Information. All the presentations and associated meetings are posted here, so the public has visibility into what we've discussed and the plans that have been outlined, so you can go there and check them out.
Thank you. And lastly, Student Services, Mrs. Stepnick, Lead Board Liaison. Letter A, recommend approval to accept and resolve the following 1 to 2 as listed.
On behalf of the board, I make that recommendation.
Mr. Stropke. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, wonderful. Do you have a report for this evening?
I hope all of you turned in your AIU votes.
I did.
Yeah. Okay, thanks. We have our meeting next Monday, and I'll be able to shoot out a message. If not, they do a lot of the great communicators, actually. So they might be turning in those names to all of us to see who those board members are before I even get there on Monday, so.
Wonderful, thank you. Ms. Purcell, you survived. All right, upcoming public meetings. Letter A, board discussion meeting Tuesday, May 13th at 7 p.m. here. Board action meeting Tuesday, May 27th, 7 p.m. here. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, have a good night. Thank you.